Ever wondered why some people seem to struggle with everyday tasks that others find simple? This is a question that often crosses our minds, but the answer isn't as straightforward as it may seem. This is because we're dealing with an invisible battle that's waged within the confines of the human mind. This battle is called depression. Depression is a common yet often misunderstood condition. Globally, over 300 million people of all ages suffer from it. It's not just a fleeting moment of sadness or a sign of laziness, as some misconceptions may lead us to believe. Instead, it's a serious mental health disorder that can significantly impact a person's life. Imagine being stuck in a perpetual state of sadness, hopelessness, or indifference. Tasks that once seemed simple and routine now feel like insurmountable challenges. Interests and hobbies that used to bring joy are now just hollow activities. This is the daily reality for those living with depression. It's an internal struggle that's often unseen and unheard. The invisibility of this battle is what makes depression so difficult to understand for those who've never experienced it. It's like trying to explain a color to someone who's never seen it. The words may make sense, but the true understanding remains elusive. Yet, understanding depression is absolutely crucial. It's not just for the sake of those battling it, but also for their loved ones and the wider community. By understanding depression, we can begin to break down the stigmas and misconceptions that surround it. We can create an environment where those dealing with depression feel comfortable seeking help. Remember, depression isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign that someone has been strong for too long, fighting an invisible battle that many of us can't see or comprehend. Depression is a complex issue, and understanding it is the first step to helping those who are fighting this invisible battle. So let's take this step together, for it's only through understanding that we can truly begin to help. So, what are the signs that someone might be dealing with depression? Depression can be a stealthy adversary, often cloaked in feelings we might dismiss as just a bad day or feeling blue. But it's much more than that. The key to recognizing depression lies in the persistent presence of certain signs and symptoms and the impact they have on one's daily life. Firstly, a constant feeling of sadness or emptiness that hangs around like an uninvited guest, not just for a day or two, but persistently for at least 2 weeks. This sadness is often accompanied by a profound loss of interest or pleasure in activities once enjoyed. Be it hobbies, social events, or even simple daily tasks, nothing seems to spark joy anymore. Before we continue on to the next point, we at Origin 5 would like to remind you that your support is crucial to us. Please consider subscribing to our channel. Your support encourages us to produce more informational videos like this one. Now moving on. There are changes in appetite and sleep patterns we should note. Some people might find themselves eating more, others less. Same with sleep, some might sleep too much, while others struggle to get a wink. These are not just passing phases or bad habits, but potential signs of a deeper struggle. Difficulty concentrating, making decisions, or remembering things is another sign. Tasks that were once easy can suddenly seem insurmountable or overwhelming. Feelings of worthlessness or excessive guilt can also be a sign. These feelings can be crippling, creating a mental fog that obscures one's self-perception and sense of self-worth. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, recurring thoughts of death or suicide. This is a critical sign that should never be ignored or dismissed as attention-seeking. If you or someone you know is experiencing these thoughts, it's crucial to seek professional help immediately. Understanding these signs is the first step towards recognizing depression. But remember, everyone's experience with depression is unique. Some might experience all these symptoms, some might experience only a few. These signs can be subtle, they can be loud, but they are always serious. Never ignore them. Depression is not just about feeling sad, it's much more complex than that. Let's take a moment to understand what depression truly is. It's like a thick grey fog that wraps around you, making it difficult to see the world clearly. It's a constant feeling of emptiness and numbness, as if you are stuck in a never-ending tunnel with no light at the end. It's not just a passing bout of sadness or a response to life's struggles and setbacks. It's persistent, invasive, and can drastically affect your ability to function and enjoy life. Depression is a serious mental health disorder that impacts a person's thoughts, feelings, and behavior. It's like an unwelcome guest that overstays its welcome, often leading to a sense of hopelessness and despair. It affects your ability to think clearly, make decisions, and concentrate. You may find yourself constantly grappling with feelings of worthlessness and guilt, or plagued by thoughts of death or suicide. Depression also affects your behavior. You might notice changes in your sleeping and eating habits. You may lose interest in activities you once enjoyed, becoming indifferent to socializing with friends or participating in hobbies. It can make you feel tired all the time, drain your energy, and make even the simplest tasks seem daunting. But here's the crucial part. Depression does not define you. It's not a sign of weakness or something to be ashamed of. It's a medical condition just like any other health issue. And just like any other health issue, it can be treated. Depression is not something to be ignored or brushed aside. It's not a phase or something that you can snap out of. It's a serious, debilitating condition that requires attention and care. But with the right help and support, it's entirely possible to manage this condition and lead a fulfilling life. Remember, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to reach out to a mental health professional. It's okay to talk about your feelings. Depression is a serious mental health condition, and it requires attention and care. Did you know depression can also cause physical symptoms? Yes, you heard that right. Depression doesn't just cast a shadow over our emotional landscape, but it also has the power to manifest in our bodies in various ways. Let's dive into this a little deeper. Fatigue is one of the most common physical symptoms of depression. Living with depression can be like carrying a heavy weight all the time, and this can often leave a person feeling constantly tired or lacking energy, even after a full night's sleep. Next, we have aches and pains. You see, depression can amplify the way our bodies perceive pain. So, those struggling with depression may experience an increase in headaches, backaches, or general body aches. It's not just in your head, it's also in your body. Moving on, we have digestive problems. Studies show that depression can disrupt the normal functioning of our gut. This can result in issues like constipation, diarrhea, bloating, or even a persistent upset stomach. And then there are changes in weight. Some people may find themselves eating more as a way of coping with their feelings, leading to weight gain. Others might lose their appetite altogether, resulting in weight loss. What's crucial to understand here is that these symptoms can be a result of depression, even in the absence of other medical conditions. If you're experiencing several of these symptoms, it's important to remember that you're not alone, and seeking professional help is always a good first step. Now, it's worth noting that everyone's experience with depression is unique. Some might experience all of these physical symptoms, while others may experience only a few or none at all. So let's break the stigma. Let's open up the conversation. Depression is not just about feeling sad or low. It's a complex condition that can affect every aspect of a person's life, including their physical health. Depression doesn't just affect the mind, it also affects the body. And understanding this is the first step towards helping ourselves or those we care about. Understanding depression is crucial, not just for those who are suffering, but for everyone around them. It's a statement that rings true and yet is often overlooked. As we delve into this final chapter, let's bring light to the importance of empathy and understanding in the journey of battling depression. Depression is a complex condition, a labyrinth of emotions, physical symptoms, and mental struggles that can be challenging to navigate. It's not simply a case of feeling sad or having a bad day. It's a persistent, pervasive darkness that can make daily life feel like an uphill battle. And this is where understanding comes into play. It's easy to cast a cursory glance at someone's life and make assumptions. But it's essential to remember that what you see on the surface is just a fraction of the whole picture. People with depression aren't just choosing to be sad or negative. They're not being lazy or attention-seeking. They're fighting a battle against an invisible enemy every single day. And so how can we help? By offering our support and understanding, by listening without judgment and offering a helping hand, by recognizing that it's okay not to be okay, and that asking for help isn't a sign of weakness but a show of strength. We can also help by dispelling harmful myths and stereotypes. Depression isn't something that you can just snap out of. It's not a sign of weakness or a character flaw. It's a serious medical condition that requires attention and care, much like any physical illness. Most importantly, we need to encourage those who are suffering to seek professional help. There's a myriad of treatment options available, from therapy and medication to lifestyle changes and support groups. There's no one-size-fits-all solution, but with the right help and support, recovery is possible. Understanding depression is the first step to offering help. Remember, it's not a choice, it's a condition, and it's okay to ask for help. Let's stand together, let's understand, and let's offer our support. After all, understanding is the key to helping.